You want me to be looking in the camera or
No,
at
no,
you?
just
At you?
at me.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay. So, did you always like soccer before playing
Um, not exactly. I guess growing up wasn't really around the game that much, so I didn't really have, that much of like an opinion on it. Like, it was a sport. It wasn't a sport I played, so it definitely wasn't like top of my list of sports that I enjoyed. Definitely like baseball, basketball, and football were top of my list. So
it?
yeah.
And this part's going to be cut, of course, but the questions like,
You're saying like the pressure I felt for quitting
uh, well, for more going back to it, could you describe that?
to going back to baseball.
Yes.
Um, Obviously, like that's just the sport like I grew up on. Like I can remember being like a 3, 4 year old kid just with a bat in my hand or like in the backyard throwing a ball. So like I was introduced to the sport at an early age. So it's definitely had like an effect on me. It's been part of my whole life as much as I can remember. So even when I like go and watch a baseball game here at Liberty or just am around it or watch like an MLB game or a college game, like it's just natural I feel to like miss the game and to know that like I did have something special that I ended up, giving up. But again, like I feel like my calling was way more than just like playing that game. And again, at the end of the day, it's just a game, and there's a lot more like purpose to life than playing a game. So, yes, there are definitely times that I do miss it. Sometimes I really do sit and think like, did I make the right decision? But I have to remember and not doubt the fact that like I said, it's definitely bigger than a game, and I feel like the position I'm in now, I couldn't have asked for a better like opportunity to just reach more people and be in an environment that will honestly like help me much longer down the road and just build me up like spiritually and to be like a young Christian man. So yeah.
Of course, you said that you first started playing soccer in freshman year of high school. I honestly can't imagine that came with challenges. Could you detail the proverbial mountains that you had to climb to get here?
Yeah, so um, I caught in baseball and I'm a goalie in soccer. So there's a lot of similarities, I would say, in those two positions. So it made sense that like my hand-eye coordination is pretty solid. So I mean, yeah, but ultimately like it was like starting from scratch. Like I was just a very athletic kid that was thrown in goal, and I had absolutely zero like technique or skill when it came to like actually owning the craft of goalkeeping. So it was definitely like there were definitely hardships that came with it. Um, like I can remember when I first started, my feet were absolutely atrocious. Like I could not kick a ball properly for my life. I couldn't even pass a ball properly for my life. So it was just a lot of hard work and dedication that I had to put towards it to reach where I am now. And obviously, like, I was no stranger to that. Like, I didn't, like, I knew what dedication looked like. I knew what hard work looked like. I just was applying it into a different arena.
Okay. And you said that with baseball and the sort of family pressures, you felt like you lost your love for sports in general. Do you feel like through soccer, through Liberty Soccer, especially in the spiritual journey you've taken, that love for the game has come back?
Definitely. I feel like at a young age, the just the concept of sports to many kids is like something you do for fun, something that you enjoy doing. But very quickly, it became a job for me, and that's a saying that's all throughout, I guess, collegiate sports. Is that especially at a Division 1 level, the sport that you play is it's not a hobby anymore; it's a job, and that you treat it like a job, and that's that. But the environment here is completely different than any environment I've been in terms of sports in general, not even just soccer. And I feel like the camaraderie and just the family atmosphere and the brotherhood that we have here at Liberty just allows you to play not only soccer, but any sport with love. Um, you're here obviously to excel in a sport, but you're also here for a bigger calling, and that's for God. And I know specifically on my team, that is the case for most, if not all, of my teammates, is that they are, you know, trying to be a better individual and also just a better person in the eyes of the Lord. And I feel like when you have that mindset and that outlook on something and apply it towards a sport, it just makes it that much easier to love and enjoy. And it allows you to just not be consumed by it, because at this level, I mean, it's a very high level. You play to win. It's a lot of competitiveness. There's a lot of just stigma that comes with this sport. But here, I feel like we can really just be like people instead of like, you know, allowing the sport to consume us. So definitely having a Christian-based foundation here is very beneficial.
Yes, and I guess we've touched a lot on the soccer background as it is, but going more into sort of your, it feels more like your primary calling more than just playing the game, but also you mentioned how you've ministered to your teammates. Do you believe that now, after this entire journey to here, that is your true calling to minister?
Um, in in many ways, yes. I'm still trying to figure out my true calling. I've definitely been able to share my story and my testimony to many people, whether it's through mission trips. I took a mission trip to Ecuador a few years back, or even just to like friends or just people in general. Like, I feel like my story has been able to honestly open the eyes of people who were in the same position like myself, where you allow, I mean, who wouldn't, honestly? Like, I do think about it a lot. I try not to, because I don't want it to start to consume me. And like, I definitely have learned to live in the moment, because, you know, you can't take days for granted. You're not promised anything. But of course, it's something that I think about. But at the same time, I'm here now. I'm a men's soccer player at Liberty. I'm not a baseball player at Rutgers. I'm not a baseball player in the MLB. And I don't want to kind of challenge what God has done in my life and the blessings that He's blessed me with, just with kind of selfish thoughts. Like, yes, I could have gone down a different path, but the path I'm on now is a blessing. You know, not everyone is blessed to have an opportunity to attend a wonderful university like this, a beautiful campus, to even play a Division I sport or a sport in general in college. So, of course, that thought does come in my mind, but who would I be to kind of, you know, let that linger and let that consume me? Like, I'm more than happy with where I am now. I've been able to inspire many kids, many people with my story. So I really wouldn't like take back my decision at all. Like, if I could go back and do it again, I would do the same thing. So that's where I am now, and it's definitely not the easiest thing to think about and to look back on, but I'm more than happy with where I am.
All right. Brandon, thank you for coming to share your story.
Yes, I appreciate it, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.